seemed to be hopeless. It seemed to be a situation that Israel could not find any way out of. But God led. God took them to the place where they could no longer say that they have no hope, because they have seen what God could do. So the Bible says in verse 7, "Now therefore make a new chart, or make a new card, and take two," sorry, I think I skipped the verse and went over to a different chapter. Right, I'm back at the right place now. Chapter 7, verse 7. "And when the Philistine heard that the children of Israel were gathered together at Mizpah, the Lord of the Philistine went up against the Israelites, and when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid." Have you ever been afraid? Is there a foe that you are afraid of? So the children of Israel were afraid of the Philistine, and the children of Israel cried out to Samuel and said, "Cease not crying unto the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hands of the Philistines." Verse 9. "And Samuel took a suckling lamb and offered it as a burnt offering, holy unto the Lord. And Samuel cried unto the Lord and for Israel. And the Lord heard him. And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against the Israelites. But the Lord," I say, my friends, but the Lord thundered with a great thunder, and that day upon the Philistines, and discomforted them all, and they were smitten before the Israelites. Verse 11 says, "And the men of Israel went out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines and smote them until they came to the place that is called Bethkar. And Samuel took a stone and set it between Mizpah and Shem. And he called that place this name, Ebenezer, saying, Hitherto hath the Lord helped us." Now I say that we serve a God that knows all our shortcomings. We serve a God that understands when we cry, and he listens to the still small voice within us. He listens to our heart when our mouths are silent, when we can't hear because of the noise of our heart. He listens and he hears the cry of the heart. And he, God of all, answers us. You see, friends, when it seems like we are going through our crucibles by ourselves, God says that he is with us. In the book of Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 2, the Bible says, when you go through the fires or through the waters, I will be with you. And when you go through the river, it shall not overflow thee. Neither when you go through the fire shall the flame be kindled against thee, because he will be there with you in the situation. So don't worry when the going gets tough. Let the tough get going. Don't worry when someone says you'll never make it. Just let them know that God is your deliverer. Don't worry when somebody comes up against you and say all manner of things that are unkind to you. Just remember, if they did it to Jesus, they'll do it to you. There's one thing in life that we are sure of, is that hardship will always come. But we are sure of something else, that when our hardship that comes, it is only to a story of a man called Paul. But before he was called Paul, his name was Saul. And while he was Saul, he was going through his troublesome times and doing things that God never ordained for him. But when he met upon his Damascus road, he thought that this was his end. But little did he know that God was just beginning a work with him. I want to let you know that it's when it seems that things are going its worst, that's when your breakthrough is closest. I want you to understand that when the night seems darkest, morning is soon to come. I want you to understand that when it seems that there is no hope, that's when God steps in to deliver you. So we must allow him to do what he does best. The children of Israel, they were facing a situation, we call it a crisis. But when they turned to God and called upon God, God heard their cries. Sometimes we can't cry out for ourselves because we think ourselves too weak, too unholy, too sinful. And so it is sometimes the men of God or the man of God